Good evening. This is the July 14th, 2026 meeting of the Animal Welfare Control and Education Board. I'd like to open up with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Let's see what I have. You have a generic agenda in front of you. Do we have any additions for this?
Other than,
We have public comments.
Yeah.
You can speak in public comments. If not, I need a motion.
make a motion.
Okay, second.
I'll second.
And all in favor? Aye. All right, minutes. Apparently he did send it by phone. I don't know if you gotten it or not. Since everybody doesn't have it, could I have a motion to table the minutes till the next meeting? Okay. Have a motion by Robert. Do I have a second? Okay. Second by Jim. All in favor? Aye. Aye. All right. I guess I'm going to take notes tonight. All right. Public comments. I understand we have a young lady here who would like to talk to us. Ma'am, if you would come up, introduce yourself. We are live streaming.
Okay.
So.
My name is Shawn Cassidy. I just started Nine Lives Now mission here in Perry County. I recently reached out to the public on Facebook regarding TNR need in the area, and I received notice about 30 cats are being cared for right now that are in need of TNR. So I am just here to see however I can help and help try to work with you guys.
I appreciate it. We did get some funding from a local organization, well, the Community Foundation, and they gave us $600, which is not much, I know, because Du Bois County, who I'm dealing with, the cost is $55 per annum. We have a location, we have a time that we were planning on doing it. What we have done is we're working with the Humane Society, and Jim is the president of the Humane Society. And what we put in that application for the funding to go to the Humane Society. So this board does not really have much to do with the money, because if we had collected it and set up an account, then we'd have to go through the red tape of government. And I would rather do it through the Humane Society where they can write a check. So they agreed, their board of directors agreed to have a line item for a TNR. And what we're going to do is to promote that and ask for people to make donations to that account, so it can be used for the TNR program. I do know the area, and the reason I've been quiet about the area, I'm afraid that we may have stray cats dropped off in that area prior to this, and we want to try to catch the ones that are there. But we want to promote it. I know the area, there are some ladies that are planning on doing a yard sale, and all proceeds from the yard sale and bake sales going to go to the Humane Society earmarked for the TNR. So hopefully we're going to have money coming in where we can do these things. I've been on this for a year now, the TNR program. Jim, we talked about this several years ago, and I was not really in favor of it because of bringing them back to that location. The more information that I've read about it, I feel like this is the way we need to go with it. I did speak to the people in the area down there where we're going to do it, and we discussed, and I think this is a good idea. And I think Jim has heard this. Once we have them trapped and fixed, we're going to make an announcement if any farmer would like one of them, so they wouldn't have to worry about them reproducing there. I know the whole idea is to return them, but if we can find a suitable location, I think that we're going to try to do that. And then hopefully this goes over well, and that's why I'm asking for help. And a little bit later, we'll get into the TNR, but I'm asking for help from the board and in the public because it is a big adventure. And I've never done it. Have you ever done a TNR?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to be reaching out to you. Setting the traps and then collecting them. And I was told that we could, I think you might have overheard the conversation I had with Robert, that we could bring them over there early in the morning. And DuBois County is an hour ahead of us, so we'd have to leave here early, transport them. And then they said if we stuck around, we could return them probably around noon. We had talked about alley cats in Louisville. I don't know if you've ever dealt with them.
That's where I'm taking most of my.
Is that where
I drive, but yeah.
I talked to the lady there. They're very willing to do this, but we had to take into consideration the construction they're having up there, plus making 2 trips.
Right.
Financially. They are a little cheaper than DuBois County, and hopefully if this takes off, and that we have, more in the future, which I'm hoping to do. I would like to have one in Troy, one in Camden also, just to see what the success rate would be. And then we might be able to deal with them. Hopefully the construction and that backs off a little bit. And even if we have enough help and ways to transport, maybe we can use both. But I filled out, we are now on that spade and neuter with DuBois County. We are a member. I put it under the Humane Society, but I put my name. I had to fill all that paperwork out the other day. So this has been a long process. Hopefully everything will go well. My big concern is, we're looking at 11 cats, and hopefully we can get 11 in the traps and get them transported just to get it started. But before you leave here, if I could get you to write down some information so I have your contact, so I'll be in contact with
Planning
you.
on coming to this.
Yes.
Okay, I'll get it up there then. Okay, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
I just want to know what is your actual plans and how many people do you have with you?
I have a rescue page right now, and I have 12 cats. They are all spayed and neutered. I've taken almost all of them, I think, to alley cats over in Louisville. And then, so they're posted, they're ready for adoption. They have their rabies vaccine, and then once I'm able to get them adopted out, I'm going to be a help foster at such as like the animal shelter, or if anybody's looking to try to rehome and they need somebody to take them for a while, then I'll be able to do that.
I'll tell you what's advice. It made very important that you're coming on board. I'm hoping you're coming on board. Is that, as Charlie said, we have kind of like a triad. The animal shelter is the base, supposed to be the base. Animal control board is the other, and then the Humane Society. So you would be part of that, one of those 3, because all 3 need help and they try to coordinate with each other. But one of our problems, as Charlie knows, in the last 2 years, especially last year, funds have really been drying up for all government entities. And we did have before $5,000 a year to be able to do things like this. We get 0 now. So I really am hoping that I can get our directors to come up with a way to communicate to the public with your help and using your information too. And Charlie's kind of on top of this. So I assume that he's going to, if you 2 get together, then they're going to be the 2 main colleagues clear. Believe it or not, that's my opinion. So.
Yeah, I would absolutely love to help out right now. I appreciate you letting me.
But I appreciate you stepping forward, and I apologize because I think I actually got something on Facebook about you, and I've been dealing with some injuries lately, so I apologize, but we will get that information tonight, okay?
Thank you.
All right, no other public comments, so we'll go on down to discussion. Did everybody get the CAD reports? They're lagging behind, and also I sent out the bike reports the other day. Really, if you look at the bike reports, there really hasn't been a whole lot. Again, I think every time that we have, we get these reports, it's more or less, yeah. And I think Kim's been keeping up with it. We had a couple incidents in the past few months with animals and trying to get information out regarding that. People need to report this so that, when they have to go to the hospital or to a clinic, it's by law that the doctors have to do that. Law enforcement, if they go on a call, they're supposed to send in a report. And I think sometimes it slides by because we had one incident where a child was bitten and an officer was, but then he was off for a few days, so he didn't get the report done until a few days later. In the meantime, the child ended up in Evansville. Well, they took the report, but they sent it to Vanderbilt County because that's where the hospital was at that they were at. So it took a while for that to get to Perry County.
With the new ordinance, are we still doing the 3 strike rule that it was for bikes?
Yeah, that's what we're looking at and trying to keep track of.
Or applying to those family incidents?
Yes. I don't know if you guys picked up on it or not, but July 1st, there were some new animal laws in the state of Indiana, especially about abuse to dogs. So it's trying to give the prosecutors a little bit more teeth. And like I've spoken with police departments, their part of it is make the report, send it to the prosecutor, and then it's in her court to decide, or her office to decide, is she going to follow through with it or not, or is it just going to be a letter to the owner? So it's one of these things that everybody has to be involved in. A couple things that went over the last meeting, Robert, you weren't here. There's an issue on the new county ordinance. On page 15, it's talking about an animal violation clerk. And the way it reads like it's a member of this board. I approached the commissioners the other day because they're the ones that adopted this ordinance, and spoke with the county attorney. He wants me to send him an email so he can research it, because it's really vague. Because I asked him, I said, does someone that's on a public board have the authority to fine people and take fees in? To me, I don't think that that's legal, because I think there's a lot of red tapes about that person will have to be bonded because he's dealing with money and how it can be turned over. Another way that people thought, and I think Jim was involved on this, that it was supposed to be somebody, or Becky Thorne, when she was on this board, went to the clerk's office, that supposedly someone there was that person in the clerk's office where it would be handled directly. So we've got to get a ruling from the county attorney on what this means and how we go about getting it done.
I'm going back to 2012. That's been in on the old ordinance and the new ordinance. And when I talked to the state 7-8 years ago, I was trying to figure out, okay, who's supposed to accept? And they really didn't know for sure, but they thought they assumed it was the county clerk.
That's what I would imagine too.
Because the money goes through there.
It wouldn't be a big position.
Right.
It's small.
And then I spoke, I know Chief Falkenberg, Sheriff Falkenberg and Lee from Hamilton, they've been telling their people to write these on the state statute.
Well, I found out when they do, it does have a lot more teeth because, if it's written on the state statute and they fail to pay it, their driver's license are suspended. Okay, that gives it some teeth, but on the other hand, if they come in and pay it, right now it goes into the general fund. And what we're trying to do is get money directed into a fund for us in the future for an animal control officer. So I have to send the county attorney, I brought that up at the meeting. The county attorney wanted to know what statute they were writing it on because, Chris Hammock, the auditor, said that there's a violation ordinance where we might be able to take that fund and have it put into what they have. I think it's a dog fund or animal fund over there in the clerk's office. So we're working on that. And then I asked about the deadlines to turn in our budget to the commissioners. I went ahead because the deadline was coming up. I went ahead and I did ask for, I know we probably are not going to get any money because the finances being tight again this year, but I dropped that 5,000 to 3,000. But I did also request part-time animal control officer.
We're still going for it.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep doing that. Now, if I can find my calendar
What is
here.
that meeting again?
Are you talking about the
Budget,
The budget.
they start very soon, very soon.
I thought I had it written down
I
here.
think they've already had preliminary. But-
Well, I thought I wrote that down. I will send out an email. I know I'm not able to be there that night for that meeting, so hopefully somebody from this board, Jim, Robert, if you got one, you can be there.
That's the regular.
Yeah, but this is something different. I thought
Well, that's.
Chris sent it to me, and I thought I printed it out, but I didn't.
I think they've already had, well,
Well, this is the meeting that the entities have to,
yes, including us.
be included in. I think, Robert, you did that last time.
Got it.
Well, we knew that everything was gonna get cut because of the funding.
No.
I'm sorry, I don't have that date, but I will send you all an email. Matter of fact, I think we will meet again before that date because our August meeting. Our August meeting is, the 11th.
The same as ours.
Yeah, I'll try
Same,
to.
at 5 o'clock.
Whatever it is.
But I will send out an email to all, the boards saying when that is. That's what I get. And I'll send you a copy of the letter I sent to the commissioners. But, basically it just asks for 3,000 for a budget for this board and then part-time, animal control officer.
I would like to make a quick motion during this, I'll explain it to you. We've never had an exact thing of how the board, when the board can meet, I would like to make a motion that we trust Charlie to be able to do whatever the directors need for things like that in the future, so that we can bypass, because he's gonna need to get the directors all together and get a forum for certain things, and I think we should give him, since he's the chair, the ability to work with the county commissioners or the city, and then get back with us. I feel we should trust him to make temporary decisions, and give him the right, a motion. I don't say how I'm gonna say this. I think you should give the chair the temporary right to make decisions that normally the directors would make.
How long is it?
You can say 3 months or something like that, 90 days, and then make a decision on a better way to do that later on.
Regular meeting.
Either one.
So you making a motion?
Okay, I have a motion.
I'll second.
Because Charlie doing things off the side here that he knows he's
Yeah.
in a gray area.
And
And I promise I will, anytime something like this comes up, I will send an email out to all the members of the board informing what, at the last meeting, I did make the comment that I was going to meet with the commissioners, and I did at their last meeting regarding those questions we've had, because I knew the county attorney would be here on their morning meetings. They have an evening meeting, normally he's not here, so I wanted, because I knew what, if I brought this before the commissioner, I knew they'd say, well, this is gonna be something that you're gonna have to talk to the county attorney, and I asked them for permission to be able to directly contact you.
Jim, do you have any comments on that?
Sounds reasonable. Have to do something, unless you do it at least temporarily.
Yeah.
That's before we get together.
And that'll be fine, that shouldn't be any problem at all there.
Between meetings, is that what, how you think it should be stated?
You know, and if this is something that we want to put in motion and look at it again every meeting, that we can just carry it over another month, we can do that. I don't.
Yeah, by meeting, I think that's a good idea. Sean, I just want to inform you that one of our problems in the last 3 years is it took us 3.5 years to get the new animal control ordinance reorganized. And that was help from the board because we didn't know what authority we had, we couldn't do anything. And it was hard to get a quorum because we had people that are disenchanted. And finally, we've got 2 more members on the board finally, and we think we're gonna get somewhere, especially like for this TNR program, when we get the public to understand.
Just a real quick background on it. When, as Jim said, when we rewrote the ordinance and we used a lot of the old ordinance, it was a 5-member board at that time. At that time, it was appointed by, there was a delegate from Tell City, which I served at, Jim from county, and then the commissioners and the county council had appointments. We wanted Troy to be represented, so we moved it from a 5 to a 7-member board. And we do have all of those filled, 3 members on vacation, and one's probably having back surgery this week, so that's the reason they weren't there. So we have to have 4 members here for a quorum, which we do tonight. But each member is on the board for 4 years, then they can go back. We have 2 from the commissioners, 2 from the council, 1 from Troy, 1 from Tell City, 1 from Camilton now. And so Camilton had never had any representation. And when we wrote this new ordinance, we wanted them all.
Troy didn't have those.
Right, Troy did. And we wanted them to have representation because what we asked for the entities, Tell City, Troy, and Camilton, not to adopt the whole ordinance because the ordinance defines this board and everything, but the statutes on animal control, law enforcement. So we're trying to get universal, and the whole idea was for the funds to come into the county, where the county could hire a animal control officer. So that's just a little history of that.
So should we vote on Jim's
Yes,
motion?
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Also, if we're gonna meet for the next budget, I would like to go over the justification for the 3,000 hours.
Well, I just, you know, in the past, when we asked for the 5,000, it was for education. I think we still put it under that, or,
Both all the TNR stuff we're doing.
well, that is my main goal. But I'm afraid they're going, well, the budget, I think we throw it out there to them, and I don't think we're gonna get anything because of the budget, but
Well, I know that there was incentive to get people to move into the county. And just from besides an animal welfare standpoint, if you're trying to get new people into the county, there's a bunch of stray cats running around. That might not be the best look.
that's right. And like I said, we had talked about this before about, you know, we hear mainly the concerns of people from Tell City, Troy, and Camden because close residents. County, as I said, Mother Nature takes care of it. Mother Nature has many forms in the county. What a lot of people, like when we were talking about the TNR, again, one of the big complaints was bringing them back. They still feel like they're a nuisance, but that's the way the program's set up, and we'll continue to do that. Other than, like I said, making offers to if any farmer would like for a barn cat or something like that.
And the biggest thing with the TNR is just going to be staying on top of it.
Yes.
But there has been areas that have shown 90% decrease in the shrimp cat population. So it's very effective, and it decreases the use of euthanasia rates
Right.
in the shelters. Sometimes these shelters just can't take on cats because they don't get a dollar
Well,
down.
and I know Molly and them are, you know, I don't know if they're still in code red or not for animals up there or not, because they weren't accepting any at all. They had gotten several litters of pups and several litters of kittens. It would have been ideal if we'd have had this earlier in the year. Maybe we could have been in some litters, but this was the time.
Do you know how they're identifying? Are they notching the ears?
Yes,
at this place?
They will clip the ears. Because as I told them, and one of my other concerns is this area is about owners that have house cats that go out, that we may trap them. So the plan is, once we trap them, we're going to have the residents in that area. Are you missing a cat? What does the cat look like? Come here and look. These are the cats that we have.
So I imagine if they have a collar on, we're just.
That's what I brought up, that if they could just put a blue collar on them, we know that they're a pet and they're already fixed.
And that is a mandate in this county, the cat sticks.
Not really. It's never been mandated, but we're to a situation, it's almost an emergency the way we populate. Because I'm seeing on Facebook all the time, people are taking them in and trying to, you know, rehome them and, you know, not.
Now, roughly how much is the 11 cats gonna cost?
Actually 605. So it's actually, I was gonna pay the difference out of, the grant was for 600.
You said you know of like 30?
I've had lots of comments on that, personnel guys and messages, there's about 30.
I would like to review.
Most of them have been in Hamilton and Troy. I don't think there's anything happened with Tell City.
Well, you know, I do know that, there's a lady in Troy and a lady in Camilton that have been trying and been doing some of it too. And hopefully we can inbox with the financing from the Humane Society when we have donations. Because we want it to be a community effort, not just one certain area. Anything else?
Yeah, you promised me.
I said, I'd get you out there by 5:30. Could I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
All right, all in favor? We're ending this meeting at 5:32.
Maybe next